Focus Black Oklahoma is sponsored by the Black Church Traditions and African American Faith Life program at Phillips Seminary, offering a master's degree in social justice online and in person. Learn more at wherefaithleads.com.
This is Focus Black Oklahoma. I'm Jacob Littlebear. As the world celebrates a new ceasefire agreement in Gaza, other conflicts continue to rage across the globe, including in Sudan. In January, then Secretary of State Antony Blinken declared the Sudanese military and allied militias were committing genocide. What does this have to do with Oklahoma? Here's FBO's Nick Alexandrov.
My name is Viola Ford Fletcher.
My name is Nimat Ahmadi.
Half a world apart, across a century, their stories echo.
On May 31st in 21, I went to bed in my family's home in Greenwood, the neighborhood of Tulsa.
I'm originally from Darfur.
My family had a beautiful home. We had great neighbors and I had friends to play with. I felt safe.
What I remember is that how peaceful was life. I see our people working hard to do it for themselves.
In a few hours, all of that was gone.
All of a sudden, this attack erupted.
I still see black men being shot, black bodies lying in the street.
Militias and Sudan armed forces attacking villagers.
I still smell smoke and see fire.
Killing people.
I hear the screams.
Everything we have built has been destroyed in an overnight.
I have lived through the massacre every day.
It's the horror that I will never wish to anyone, even on my enemies.
20 years ago, before Nimat Ahmadi fled to the U.S., before she founded the Darfur Women Action Group, she lived in Sudan. Her homeland at that time was on
the edge of a precipice. More than 300,000 people are dead.
5 a.m, the armed militiamen come in on camelback and horseback, and they start burning.
His name is on school books found in the ashes of his home.
Today, ashes still drift across western Sudan, over refugee camps, over the grounds where villages stood, fires lit by the same forces. The country has endured decades of crisis, displacement, famine, genocide, each unfolding almost unseen.
The same indigenous African tribes that were targeted 20 years ago are currently under attack. The same group have been systematically and deliberately targeted.
But there's a difference now. The aggressors then had minimal means.
The armed militiamen come in on camelback and horseback.
Now they have more sophisticated weapons, including drones, like more advanced weapon technology. They have these devices that track people from miles and miles away.
They have vehicles to speed across those distances.
And have the money and also support from the richest players in the region, such as United Arab Emirates.
The United Arab Emirates, the UAE. That's where Oklahoma enters the story. We can trace the weapons back from the desert, over the ocean, back to the plains.
Here are 2 good reasons to see your Toyota dealer.
Imagine you run a Toyota lot. Last year, business was slow. You sold 52 cars. This year, 605 in 6 months, a 1,000% jump. And 3 out of 4 went to one buyer. That's what Oklahoma's arms trade looks like this year. Sales spiked from $14 million to $164 million. And most of the weapons went to a single customer, the UAE. The same country Nimat just mentioned, the one now arming, now fueling the war in Darfur.
We have clear examples of the UAE funneling weapons to the RSF.
or the Rapid Support Forces, a key actor in Sudan's conflict. You're listening to Hussam Majoub.
They are supplying the RSF with arms. The Rapid Support Forces leadership uses the UAE as a logistical hub for finance, for their financial transactions.
Armed and funded,
the RSF is committing war crimes and crimes against humanity and atrocities in Sudan.
In January, the U.S. State Department reviewed this record of violence. It charged the RSF with genocide. Hussam was born in Sudan, but now lives in Texas. He co-founded Sudan Bukra, an independent TV channel watched by millions of Sudanese. After the Khartoum massacre in June 2019, when more than 100 pro-democracy protesters were killed, authorities shut down the international outlets, CNN, Al Jazeera.
People relied on Sudan Bukra for the next 6 weeks as the only channel still broadcasting from Sudan and not affiliated with the regime. It was a tool of organizing people for the mass demonstrations of June 30th, which literally changed the balance of power between the civilians and the military.
6 years later, the RSF paramilitaries, backed by the UAE, are ascendant in Western Sudan.
As we speak now, Rapid Support Forces is controlling most of Darfur except for Al Fashir, the largest city in Darfur. The Rapid Support Forces is putting Al Fashir under siege for more than a year now, and this is causing a huge humanitarian crisis there.
9 miles south of Al Fashir, one site offered refuge, if just for a time. A Sudanese camp called Zamzam in North Darfur, a camp for displaced people, home to hundreds of thousands, an RSF target.
It felt like they wanted to remove us because of who we are.
In April, the RSF rode in shouting racist slurs, self-appointed executioners shooting on sight. The UN estimates they murdered between 300 and 1,500 people.
They were chanting as they killed people in their homes. It is behavior you wouldn't even find in the wilderness.
More than 400,000, 4 of every 5 in the camp, fled after the slaughter, fled to escape the RSF. They had to run again. You can look up Oklahoma's weapons sales yourself on USA Trade Online, the U.S. Census Bureau's trade portal. It offers different data sets. One of them is
State Exports by HS Commodities.
HS Commodities are trade items grouped by
the Harmonized System,
which assigns each a number. The longer the number, the more specific the item. So,
HS Code 93
is arms and ammunition, and
HS Code 9306
covers munitions, bombs, grenades, torpedoes, mines, missiles, and other ammunition, projectiles, and parts thereof. Oklahoma's weapons exports to the UAE, sent in June, fall in that latter category.
HS Code 9306.90.
They're the other, and that's all we can infer. You hit a barrier quickly and see it's opaque. Beyond it, weapons are built and sold in silence. We don't know what these weapons are, who makes them, or where. We only know their cost, their weight. $133 million, 31 metric tons. Oklahoma pays for this. When you pay your taxes, you're helping maintain, helping to upgrade the places that make and move weapons, instruments of war. Places like Tinker Air Force Base or the McAllister Army Ammunition Plant. But it's not clear what you pay. It's not clear how much of the money you hand over every April, how much of that the state then takes and channels toward these sites. Another barrier, opaque again. I searched. I found a couple line items. $198,000 approved for Tinker's eastward expansion, a request roughly $125,000 for rail access work at McAllister. I kept looking. I found something bigger, a $9 million tax break for the aerospace sector. Money that could cover teachers' salaries, library hours, school renovations, road and bridge upgrades, or other forms of repair. Viola Ford Fletcher, the Tulsa Race Massacre survivor, knows what was stolen.
I have never made much money in my country. State and city took a lot from me.
She knows the pain of memory.
I have lived through the massacre every day.
In Darfur, millions targeted with foreign weapons live a similar pain and wake to it still. For Focus Black Oklahoma, I'm Nick Alexandrov.